When you first open the PhET simulation link, it is going to take you to a page that looks like this one over here. You're going to click on the play button where it says Waves Intro to launch the simulation. Once the simulation's launched, it gives you three options: water, sound, or light. We are just going to be focusing on the water simulation for right now. So go ahead and click on that one. Once you open it up, you're going to see this faucet to the left and this body of water that takes up the majority of the screen. To start the faucet, you're going to hit this green, almost like a play button. That green button makes the faucet start to drip. To pause the drip, you can just hit the pause button down here. If we look at the worksheet that we're going to be working on, there are two different parts that we need to look at. So under background info, it says top view. Describe what happens to the water when the tap is turned on. So it automatically puts it in top view for us. The next question tells us that we need to look at it in side view. So this is not in side view, this is still in top view. To switch to side view, you just have to toggle this button right here, and it switches to side view. Now you're going to make a few observations when it looks in the side view way, and describing what you see, what you notice about the wave. One of the things that you need to describe is what happens when you change the frequency of the wave. So if we look at question number 3, it says side view, turn the frequency all the way up. To find where frequency is, it is over here on the right side of the screen. And to turn the frequency all the way up, we're going to move it up the scale to the maximum. And then we're going to hit play again. Once it's like this, we could make some observations and then describe what we notice about the wave. I'm then going to pause it so that I could write down what I notice and my observations and describing. Once I get that all done, I'll look at number 4 where it says side view, now turn the frequency all the way down. So again, we're going to be using the frequency, but instead of it being at the maximum, you're going to turn it all the way down and make some observations. You should notice some change happen when the frequency gets turned all the way down. Again, making observations and describing on your page. I'm going to pause that so that we could look at the next part of this worksheet. For this part, this is going to be data collecting. And to collect data, we need one of the tools on the simulation. And the only tool that we are going to be using is this tape measure. So I'm going to pull the tape measure out of the toolbox and bring it onto my screen. With the data collecting, we're going to be looking at the minimum, or we're going to be looking at the frequency. So minimum, medium, and maximum frequency levels is what we're going to use. That's our independent variable, or what I'm changing. And our dependent variable, or what I'm measuring, is going to be the wavelength of that wave. So to use this, we have to get it started. I'm going to start with my minimum frequency. So checking that frequency is all the way down to minimum. And I'm going to hit play. And I'll let it run for a little bit to watch it. Okay, make sure that they're all pretty even at this point, and then I'm going to pause. And if we measure wavelength, we know that we have to measure it from the top of one crest. I'm going to pick this crest to use, top of that crest right there. And then you could take the tape measure, just like you would in real life, and drag it to the other side that you would need to measure. So we have the crest of one wave here, and the crest of another wave here that we're measuring. This gives us a wavelength, we could read the number right there, of 7.1 centimeters for this wave. So all you would do is type in your wavelength in the box. You're going to use the same process for the different frequency levels. For medium, you would move the frequency to medium and then hit play. Let it go for a couple seconds, then pause it. There we go. Now they're pretty evenly spaced out. Once we pause it, we're going to again move our ruler and adjust it so that it is going from crest to crest. And for the last one, you will do the same process, moving it up to the maximum. For the other portion of the slab, you're going to be looking at the amplitude of the wave. With this one, we're going to return our frequency back down to the middle. And we are going to start changing the amplitude. So the first amplitude we need is the minimum amplitude. And let's hit play. I'm going to move my ruler out of the way so that I can see. Whoa, look at what's happening with the amplitude. Minimum amplitude. If we wanted to measure the height of this wave, you can line it up, but is there any wave to really measure? The amplitude here is 0. It does say it on that scale, so we could just go ahead and for minimum amplitude, type in 0. Then for the next one, we're going to increase it to a medium amplitude. Let it go for a couple seconds, let it get a couple waves in, and I'm going to pause this one because it is harder to see. And if I move this over, we know that amplitude is measured from the center of the wave to the top of the wave. And I could see my amplitude of that wave. We're going to be doing the same exact thing for this one with maximum amplitude. I will show you what that looks like. You'll hit play, let it go for a couple seconds, and then pause it and adjust, just like you did with all the other ones. Adjust, move, and record. And that's it. That is all you need to know for the simulation to be able to complete this lab. All the rest of the information is on the lab sheet where you will be answering the questions, and then afterwards you will get a chance to graph the data that you collected.